It's time for Animaniacs, and we're zany to the max. So just sit back and relax till after you collapse for Animaniacs. Come join the Warner Brothers.
And the one assistant died.
Just for fun, we run around the Warner movie lot. They lock us in
Lock
the
us in
tower
the tower whenever we get caught.
where we break loose and then let loose. And now you
And
know
then
the
you
plot.
know the bar. We're Animaniacs.
Dot is cute and Yakko yaks. Wacko packs
Wacko
so with
packs,
the
packs with the
on the
stacks while the
place.
Quentin plays the sax. We're Animaniacs.
Big Pinky and the brain who wants to rule the universe. Good feathers plot together, Slappy whacks him with her purse. Buttons
Lucky with
change
the pen.
Minty while Rita sings a verse. The writers look we had
We
this
had us
we
when we
wanted to
wanted to be
react.
had.
We're
We're
animaniacs.
Animaniacs. Da-da-da.
We have
We get paid
for
to live.
great contracts. We're zany to the max. There's money in our slacks. We're animaniacs.
Animaniacs.
Totally
Totally.
zany. Here's the
Here's
show's
the
name.
show that's named
Animaniacs. Those
Animaniacs.
are the
Those are
facts.
the
Okay,
facts.
Chuck,
That will
make a
and
note.
that
Make a
and
note,
that will
Chuck.
be anywhere on American Idol.
Yeah, okay. Chuck, you got to make a note for when we do this in the future, okay, or whatever. Really, in a sense, only one person can say. I had you do the one piece in there just to get the other voice in there, but yeah, don't try to sing in harmony because it's not going to work with the it's not going to work with the internet feed. So let's not do
True,
that
true.
again.
Okay, sorry about that.
Anyway, folks, hello. Now that we've gotten that interlude out of the way, welcome to another edition of Convention Attention, our first one for 2018. We've made it once again. Brian Sapinski here, and the voices in the background that you hear are from our usual, to borrow from Mad Magazine, our usual gang of idiots, Scott Goldiner and Chuck Berman. How you doing, guys, tonight?
Doing good.
All right.
Okay, we're all there. Yeah,
I'm
if you're
doing I'm
wondering why
doing
you only
great.
see me and not them,
GREAT.
they're having some various issues with their with their computers. They're both on their phones, doing this, and of course, Google Hangouts loves phones, so that's why you can't
Yeah.
see them. But like I said, you can still hear them, hopefully, and we'll run with this as we need to, and I'll get some pictures of the appropriate topics put up or whatever. So with that thought in mind, let's get to the business at hand tonight, so we can have our fun and conversation. And our topic for tonight stems from the news that came just after the turn of the new year. The announcement that Animaniacs, as I tried to sing or whatever, and Chuck tried to keep in tune with me. The announcement that they were going to be coming back, a brand new version of Animaniacs, revived, rebooted, started up again. Actually, wait, Scott, double check me. Is this really supposed to be which is it supposed to be? It's supposed to be a reboot or just a
Reboot.
general comeback at all?
It's a reboot. I
It
mean,
is.
not a reboot. They're just bringing it. They're just adding more. It's just, they're bringing it back. Or it's a reboot. It's more of a continuation.
Well, okay, so it is a
So
revival.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I wanted to make sure of. Yeah, no, because in this day and age of all what's old is new again, and everybody's like rebooting series and starting everything from scratch and things like that. That's I wanted to make sure we had the proper clarification and
I,
things.
I
Because
I don't think Steven Spielberg would allow them to go all the way back to the beginning to reboot this.
I doubt. Yeah, same. I agree.
yeah. Well, it also needs to be understood that animated shows and things like that, with perhaps the rare exception, maybe if we were talking like superhero shows and things or whatever, there's no real way to really reboot or like start over a storyline. For a show for most cartoons, because of the fact that, like, especially for these kind of shows, like a Tiny Toons or an Animaniacs or a Pinky and the Brain or whatever the case is. There's no there's no like progressive story. What I'm saying. Especially everything in Animaniacs and Tiny Toons is really like standalone. So it's like you could call it either one that you want to. It's like but it's not going to make a difference. It's not like the characters are getting older or that like things have changed in their lives, like from a relationship or something like that. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get
Yeah.
it.
So
I get you.
yeah.
I
So
get you.
call whatever you want. It wouldn't make a lick of difference.
Are you
So,
saying that? Are
but
you saying that the show makes a good lick? Is that what you're saying? That's it.
Try it in
Save your
line.
Sorry.
good feathers for a minute. There, we'll get into
Sorry.
position. Go ahead. But going off of that news with AMAX, folks, that's what we wanted to base our discussion around tonight. We wanted to go through all of the shows that were within the Steven Spielberg animated five, as we're talking about. So that all of the fun stuff that he produced during the '90s that gave a lot of people a lot of enjoyment and plenty of one-liners up the wazoo for years and years to come. Stuff that let's all be honest, still gets quoted today quite a bit and things like that.
Yep.
So so I'll tell you what, let's just get into it. Let's just go through the order. So actually, before we do that, okay, in the spirit, before we start that discussion, we're just going to have a brief thing here, and we're going to sort of keep a ranking of this as we go throughout the year. If you recall the last podcast that we did to close 2017, and yes, I know at the time that we're shooting this, I know that episode still needs to go up. Give us a chance, it's coming. So just understand chronologically where it is. Our last podcast of 2017, we did our vote where we crowned what the meme of 2017 was supposed to be. And we want to keep that tradition rolling as we go through each year. So what we're going to do is every time now that we do a new convention attention episode, we're going to keep track of the memes that are going along throughout the year, and we're going to keep a live updated ranking of where the memes stands. So we're going to start with the ones that came out in January right now. We're just going to get our fast opinion. We'll keep a live updated list as we go from month to month. This way we don't miss a beat and don't forget anything. And to start off this year, we've got two memes that 2018 has begun with, and your opinions of them are definitely going to vary as things move along. So let's start with number one, the opinion of the Tide Pod epidemic, the growing notion that stems from an article that came about right before New Year's happens that was saying, and this was a very weird article. The article stated that there was a statistical report at the end of 2017 that said during the course of last year, more adults died from eating Tide Pods and similar laundry detergent packets than kids did, which,
Sure, talking about the Tide Pod
okay,
now.
How?
Talk about Tide Pod.
how is it that adults are consciously trying to eat these things? And because check me on this, Chuck. When you look at what a Tide Pod looks like,
Yeah,
would it
we use them
make sense
for.
to you that it would seem like it looked intriguing enough for a kid who didn't know better to eat?
No, absolutely not. It's used for laundry, not for food.
Oh, no, we understand that, but I'm saying, like, if you're looking at it from a perspective of maybe like a 3, 4-year-old kid who obviously doesn't know better, they'll see it, they'll see all the swirly colors, they'll be like, "Ooh, this looks like candy," or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it's not candy.
Oh, no. Again, we know that. But you could understand the perspective of a kid thinking that, and then just by instinct, wanting to try to eat it.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah, I feel you.
Okay. So the idea then that the report was saying that last year more adults were dying from eating those things than kids were. I mean, that just seems mind-boggling, doesn't it?
That definitely does. I gotta ask my wife how many people died of that though. How many people died of that Tide Pod challenge, baby? How many people?
I'm not, I'm not sure.
She said a lot of people died though. She's a big news hound.
A lot of people.
Yeah, that was the thing that spawns from this whole thing. As soon as that report came out, that's when everybody started making cracks about the Tide Pod Gel. I saw like images that anime style images that people were drawing of like anime girls that were supposed to be representations of the different like one's the Tide Pod, one's the Clorox version of it, and stuff like that, different things. And then, of course, as you just said, Chuck, that sprung about the Tide Pod challenge of people actually trying to see could they survive eating one of these.
I don't think they could survive it because it's very bad for them.
Scott, I'll ask you a dumb question. Did you, in the back of your mind, when you first heard about it?
I actually have the numbers here. I pulled it up.
What is it?
To the AAPCC, if CNBC would be patient with me, 29 cases of teenagers initially eating the pods in the entry of 2016. Last year, that went to 53 in 2017. As of
What about it now? What about it?
this year, doubled from 39 to, as of the 16th, incidents is now to 86 as of this year.
86?
The number, wait. So there were people already doing this
86, baby, 86.
And the number grew last year.
Number grew to 53. We're currently sitting at 86. That number continues to rise. Now, this is coming from CNBC.
Okay.
It doesn't matter where it's coming from. It's the idea that the number is growing is just absolutely ridiculous.
Right. I want to cite the source where I'm getting the information from.
No, that's fine. But
the number continues to rise despite efforts from companies like YouTube and Amazon.com, which have taken steps to remove harmful Tide Pod content from their sites.
What about Google Video?
I think Google's involved in that somewhere, but they're just going after the big two.
What about Facebook? What about Facebook Video or Instagram?
Well, right now, what are you referring to exactly, Chuck?
YouTube and Amazon.
Wait, what are you referring to specifically?
I'm trying to tell you the article is only referring to YouTube and Amazon.
No. I mean, what's their connection? What are you referring to? What, people making videos of trying to eat them?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No. I was losing that in the context of the conversation. I want to make sure I understood where you were going with it. But yeah, that becomes that sort of thing. The idea that now people seem to be obsessed with trying to prove in video form that they can eat. I mean. About the cinnamon challenge and trying to do the whole gallon of milk or all that kind of thing or whatever. You understand those? At least those things are edible.
Pints of milk.
Me and the missus did the ice bucket challenge one time.
No.
Yeah, but you see, like those things, it's like none of that stuff is gonna really harm you and stuff like that. I mean, okay, I understand when people were doing the cinnamon challenge, eating the teaspoon of trying to eat the whole tablespoon of cinnamon or wherever the case is and things. Obviously, people cut, but even that was still edible. That still wasn't going to like totally debilitate you like a Tide Pod would.
No, but the other thing about that is with the Tide Pod, they decided to make her into an anime character too.
No, that's what I was saying a second ago. Yeah, some people were drawing those things. They did I know there was a Tide Pod representation. There was a Clorox one, and I think there was at least one other.
There was one from my ocarina group that I'm part of. Did a Tide Pod ocarina. That's like a joke.
And there's also one with the
ocarina. Actually, would look pretty nice.
Yeah, there's also one that's known as Earth Song. They drew like a female wearing a NASA shirt, and her hair was basically all the blue and with all the continents of the Earth.
Well, who knows? But I'll say this: but probably and then the obsession with this also grew in the respect that I started seeing, several other like cartoons that had or people putting up the meme pictures. Most notably, I saw like a SpongeBob one that would show like, Squidward eating a line of Tide Pods and things like that, or something to that effect. So I mean, that's when you knew this thing was getting like really, was getting really ridiculous and things. So
To quote from Monty Python, get on with it.
get on with what?
The next topic.
Well, okay, all right. Well, that was meme number one this year. The second meme, okay, and Chuck, you were asking me a question right before we started this broadcast. Would you like to ask me that silly question again to introduce our other meme of 2018 so far?
I sure will. Hey, Brian Spinsky, do you know the way?
Yes. Do I know the way? Yes. And believe me, that one has spread all over the place. I hear it constantly around my high school job in Belleville here in New Jersey. The obsession of Ugandan knuckles. And okay, I want to ask a question just very quick with regards to that. Okay, because obviously, like we've all seen
I want to interrupt for a sec. I want to interject for a second, but going back to the one about the Tide Pod, and I'm actually on my computer looking through Google. We actually now have people cosplaying as the anime character that they made up for the Tide Pod.
No, I've seen those pictures too. Yep. No, I've seen them.
I didn't get a chance to see it. Show me.
I can't because it's on my laptop, and I'm on.
Yeah, we'll take care of that on the side. Don't worry, it'll be superimposed. So
they did one with Clorox too.
No, I've seen. I've seen
what's one gonna be next? Lysol,
iPod-chan, and Clorox-chan.
Which one's gonna be next? Lysol-chan.
Who knows? Anyway, all right.
We also have a cosplay of the one that people made up with Earth-chan as well.
Okay, all right, but that's not linked to that this.
No, it's all in the same thing. So
Well, Earth has nothing to do with Tide and Clorox and stuff like that. That's its own separate total thing there. But anyway, okay. But coming back now to, like I said, the whole thing of Ugans and Knuckles. Now I've seen those deformed, things of Knuckles or whatever. Now I'm trying to remember which game was it that people were trying to insert that thing into. I'm trying to remember where it first appeared. It was in one of those.
I think it was. I'm
just trying to recall for myself which one it was. All right, but in any case, the only thing that I'm trying to figure out in general is exactly like, because as far as I would imagine with those different games, the trying to incorporate a voice with it, I'm trying to figure out exactly how the whole African accent thing actually got mixed in with it. That's the only part that doesn't totally make sense to me. You know what I'm saying?
No,
it honestly doesn't make a lot of sense, honestly.
It has become the most annoying meme of the year so far.
Okay, but all right, but let me ask this, because this is why we're trying to figure this out from a perspective of trying to rank these memes as we go continuously throughout the year. Do you consider it, Scott, a better meme than the Tide Pods?
That does not make the list.
Huh?
It
does not make them.
It does not.
Well, right now, we only have these two, so the rankings. So I mean, this is gonna keep up. That's the whole thing. We're gonna update this continuously as we go throughout the year. So it's like, who do you have ahead at the moment?
They both get a score of -10 for me. That's
okay. Well, for the moment, we've got to put one ahead of the other. So
both
I say
for me.
So for the moment, you've got Tide Pod above Ugans and Knuckles.
No, I have them both at 0.
Okay, Scott, we can't.
Tied in first place.
We have to keep it continuous right here. Somebody's got to be ahead of the other one.
None of them are ahead of anything. I'm leaving them both at 0.
Scott, we've got 11 more months of this year, okay? Other things will make
Right now, I am staying my ground. They're both at 0. I'm abstaining from the vote.
Yes, once again, folks, Scott Goldiner, the king of Killjoy.
Here's my
Chuck, where you
I say
where you placing this?
currently Ugandan Knuckles at number 1 and Tide Pod number 2.
Okay, I'm gonna for the moment, say the same thing because like I said, as annoying and perhaps even a little bit offensive as Ugandan Knuckles is, it's still at least it's something catchy, and at least it's not going to kill you like the other thing is. That's what I'd have to say for Joe. Incidentally, in looking it up on Know Your Meme. I'm just give the information here that brings in the different things. The whole Ugandan thing or whatever. Let me see. Okay, wait. I just got to reread it here and stuff like that. Let's see. It actually started in August of 2016. There was a YouTuber that he was role playing an African drug lord in Call of Duty Black Ops, and he was saying lines like, "Yeah, follow me, I know the way." Um, but then about a year late, less than a year later, let me see. YouTube in February of last year, a YouTuber by the name of Greg Zilla uploaded a review of the 2013 game Sonic Lost World, which featured a parody animation of Knuckles that would give rise to the Knuckles Sings remix series. Okay, and fans of the Twitch streamer Forsen commonly reference jokes related to Ugandan warriors while playing the game Player Unknown's Battlegrounds. So it's kind of this came from several different avenues and things like that, but just in the process, for some reason, this just all these concepts meshed together, and this is what we got out of it, and it's weird. It looks weird. It sounds weird, but
that's why it's a stupid meme.
Well, understand a lot of these memes that we talk about in general are stupid in the first place. So don't
including
necessarily
the one that says including the one that says I just came to read the comments. I just came here to read the comments.
For what it's worth, at least Ugandan Knuckles is in some way entertaining. At least it tries to be, and like I said, it won't kill you.
That's much like how the Vegeta one is like over 9,000. I find that one to be more entertaining than anything else.
Actually, there was a video that I saw about a week ago that tried to imagine a match between Ugandan Knuckles and Cell.
Oh, brother.
And Cell, and it ended up being sort of like by the end of it ends up being like a dream kind of thing. But it was just weird just hearing Cell just get like so super ticked off, that Ugandan Knuckles wouldn't stop asking him, if he knew the way, and just wanted him to fight. And you got to see it. It's crazy enough, it's all right. But
I bet we're gonna hear a lot of that on the con floor.
Oh yeah, believe me, I'm sure as this year goes on, I'm sure we'll see a lot of Ugandan Knuckles impersonators, or whatever the case is. Yeah, hopefully, people will understand the point. So. And that's all we'll say about that. All right. So it looks like then for the immediate moments, all right. So as we keep our running list for this year, so far we've got Ugandan Knuckles at number 1 and the Tide Pods at number 2. We'll see if they hold those rankings as the year goes on. And as you guys watch this, feel free to offer your opinions.
The one I'm putting at number 1 is the one that I thought was probably better than those, is the one that people have done with Earth-Tron. So any of those I'm putting at number 1.
Earth-Tron. Wait. Earth-chan wasn't even this year. So
No, it became more popular this year, so I'm putting
all right,
her.
well, here, all right. Well, let's bring Earth-chan into. All right, might as well then. Okay, so we'll put a third on the list. All right. So here, you describe Earth-chan real quick.
Well, basically, it's just a picture of a cute anime girl with her hair is basically, the style of how the continents are, and she's wearing a NASA shirt.
And what was the origin of it?
I have no idea. I found it the one day people were posting a lot of it in Waifu Hell, so that's where I first.
Oh, your usual hangout.
Yeah, that's where I first found out about it and everything, and people put up their protector shove off, and I was one of the people that said protect.
Yeah, I
Isn't
mean, you see
waifu?
it. Like,
Isn't
the
isn't
hair
waifu
is
hell
dyed,
on face?
in
Isn't
green.
isn't
She's flat chested. As if to suggest all the old jokes of the Earth being flat
Yeah, that
and
was
things or whatever.
that happens to be the main meme about it. Her saying, "I'm not flat."
Yeah, well, it's the big the big part of the gag, of course, or whatever the case is. But yeah, oh yeah, and the big the big piece of it, that stems from a person wearing a NASA shirt that yeah, she says, yeah, everybody call me flat, and the man says, yeah, don't believe what they said, senpai, you are not flat. So, but
where's
then
waifu
of
hell
course,
on Facebook?
They make that into an anime, or at least into something like an like a 5 minute OVA or something.
Or like a manga even.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
all right, so in that case, all right, so you're putting Earth-chan above both of the other two then.
Yeah.
All right, Chuck, where do you see it at the moment?
Okay, I'm still putting Ugandan Nuggles at number one, Earth-chan at number two, and Tide Pod number three.
Okay. And you know what? I think that seems to be about where I've got it placed at the moment. So yeah, because yeah, I saw a lot of those Earth-chan pictures, yeah, over the weeks and stuff like that. I guess the only thing that has me a little off about the Earth-chan thing is that it's just like it's like the I see the other things. I understand like where they came from. I get the the origin and the connection and stuff like that. Earth-chan just kind of came about a little more randomly as opposed to the other ones. I can and it's like I don't have the point of reference. I see just I don't know. It's not like there as much as the other two, whatever. So it's like I mean, you can understand like what most of these other memes. It's like there's like like something in the news or other type of stuff or whatever. It's like this just had like just decided to pop up and had no basis and but still just happened to catch on fire. It's just that I don't
This,
know. You get what I'm saying, right? I'm sorry if I'm babbling here.
this
Yeah,
just the Earth is not flat.
the Earth
Yeah.
is round.
Oh, at the moment, though, it's at least enough to get to have Earth-chan be in second for the moment. So, based on group consensus here, that seems to be our 1, 2, 3 ranking for the moment. If you guys have a different opinion out there as to where this ranking should be, let us know. We may
Well, we'll post it. We'll post it. Right.
that list
Here's
and
what
make
we'll
this
do.
official.
Here's what we'll do. We'll post the rankings, and we'll have a voting system up on uh, up on the Facebook page where you can vote on what you think it is. And when we add new ones to it, we'll add to the list, and you can decide to change your votes at the end of the year. Whatever is up there at first place is the meme of the year. We'll have you, the fans, decide. We'll put a poll up there, and you
Sounds
guys.
good to me. Why not?
Yeah.
Let's get you
I
involved on
can
this,
and I
guys.
can
Yeah,
I
don't
can
let it
I
just.
can I can share it to the Anime Con group I'm part of.
But we'll get it spread all around. So you guys just keep a lookout for that. We'll start setting that up
Okay.
very soon here. All right. Let's close the book on that for the moment and let's get into now our main topic tonight, as we went to start to say. So our business now is said the Steven Spielberg animation block in the 90s. And let's begin right from the start of the whole business with we go to the turn of the decade with the 1990s, where we begin with the joy of Tiny Toon Adventures, the one that started it all. Scott, well, I'll start you on the discussion. What can you say about all things great Tiny Toons?
The theme song gets stuck in my head every periodically once in a while.
Which is always a good thing.
Yeah, like the DuckTales theme.
True.
Well, wait. Are you suggesting that? Well, wait. Which one gets stuck in your head more, though?
Well, let's see, which song gets stuck in my head more? I'd have to say, I don't know. The strangest. While I was at work today for the strangest reason, while I was at work, the song "Build Me Up, Buttercup" got stuck in my head.
By the Foundation.
Okay, now we've really gone off
1968.
course here.
That was 1960. That was 1968 that came out.
I don't know. I just it's a mixture between between the Animaniacs, Tiny Toons, and probably DuckTales. But I probably know the Animaniacs one and all the. I want to say maybe the two different variants that they did after Pinky and the Brain left to
I
the
see.
open.
No, I gotcha. Yeah, but here, let me ask you this: the first time that you saw Tiny Toons and that you heard about when it was coming out and things like that, at first, did you think when you saw them that this was just simply like established Looney Tunes characters just as kids and not their own characters?
I just stumped on it. That was me. I was just I was just flipping through the channels and everything.
But I mean, like what before the right before
Talking
the
about right now,
series
baby.
premiered, like when you saw the commercials leading
Turn on
into
screen. Talk about it.
announcing the debut of the series, when you saw them, because obviously, like all of the characters within the show
What?
are sort of loosely related, not from a family perspective, but they're related in some sense to the to
I
each of
never
the
saw, I
established.
never saw I
Well,
never saw any of the commercials for the show.
well, my favorite episode of Tiny Toon Adventures is Mush Connection, when Montana Max took Elmira out to dinner at the Weenie Burger. Said, "I'm gonna give her the Happy Baby Puffy Face meal." They want the Happy Baby Puffy Face meal.
Jeez, I forgot about that one. That was great. All right. Well, all right, but here, Chuck. Here, let me ask you the question at least. Again, as I was trying to ask Scott a second ago, the idea that when you first see Tiny Toons or whatever, was it your initial imagination that these were, instead of being their own characters, like I said, just like sort of like how with the Muppets you had Muppet Babies, but where it was just kid versions of the established characters. At first, did you think that's what Tiny Toons was? That this was just like Bugs as a kid and Daffy Duck as a kid and things like that?
Not a bit of it. I thought it was something that would be really revolutionary for the time, something that can never be replaced. Tiny Toon Adventures was one of my favorite kids growing up as a cartoon. Heck, I even had the handheld game, I had the Nintendo game. Basically, I had everything Tiny Toon Adventures when I was a kid. I even had the movie How I Spent My Summer Vacation on VHS.
I think actually a few months ago, I think we actually just got. I think Andrea just got a library copy of that they were like ditching or whatever the case is, or something like that. But I know we've got that downstairs now. My kids haven't seen it yet, but eventually,
It's a
eventually they will and
classic.
stuff like that. I'm sure Brandon will enjoy it and stuff.
Oh, it is a classic.
Oh no, of course, absolutely, yeah. I mean, it was very good. It was an excellent series, with Tiny Toons. I mean, they one thing that was good, and this isn't gonna be the first time we're gonna say this about the Steven Spielberg shows or whatever. These main three between Tiny Toons, Animax, and Pinky and the Brain, they were very like with the pulse of pop culture at the time because especially being comedic, they were not afraid in any way, shape, or form to find like something that was going on at the time and be able to find a way to incorporate it into the humor of the show and stuff. Obviously, Tiny Toons was the first to do that kind of stuff. Like and what you said, Chuck, was a perfect example. Like I said, doing the parodies of like established TV shows, like you said, they would do they did that Love Connection parody in one
They did
episode. They did,
Tooniewood Squares.
right, Tooniewood Squares within one of those. They also did
I was in the channel surfing episode where they made fun of where they were flipping through different
Acme
channels.
Cable, season 3.
Oh yeah, no, right, exactly, yeah. But then, like one of the first episodes that even aired in the course of the show, they did a Mickey Mouse Club parody. They did the Buster Bunny Bunch.
They also did them in season 2. They did a weekday afternoon live.
Oh yes, weekday afternoon parody of Saturday Night Live. Yeah, with the host Large Simpleton, the parody of Bart Simpson. So
There's also a couple music video episodes.
oh yeah, that's the biggest thing that we want to mention there because yeah, you're true. They managed to, and it was cool that they had the rights to be, especially with Steven Spielberg's clout, to be able to do those episodes where they would have the characters acting out the music. It's like you had Babs doing Respect, Montana Max doing that. What exactly is the title of that song? I always mess up.
That was Barrett Strong, Money. That's what I want by Barrett Strong.
But that is the title, Money. That's what I want.
Yeah.
I just
And
wanted
then,
to make sure.
and then of course you had Plucky Duck doing Yakety Yak.
By the Coasters.
I forgot that one.
And of course, some appearances by They Might Be Giants, Particle Man, and
yes,
Istanbul by not Constantinople by him.
The biggest contribution that Tiny Toons gave or whatever, because I would gather to imagine, and I would hope you guys agree on that. Would you say that probably, if not for Tiny Toons, a large part of the people that grew up watching these shows at the time would probably have never heard of They Might Be Giants or their music?
I highly agree.
Oh yeah, Babs Bunny did "Do You Love Me"
by the Contours.
Right.
Oh, I thought that was Buster that did that.
No,
that was Buster.
I'm looking at the list now. No, Buster did "It's in His Kiss." Montana Max did Money, That's What I Want.
The judge is saying you're wrong on that one.
No.
You stay out of this, Judge. This is not the Game Show Talking Fun podcast.
Oh, brother.
So.
Oh, jeez.
Anyway, but yeah, no, but I'd still have to, like, out of all the musical stuff or whatever, yeah, probably have to say that the They Might Be Giants things are probably the best music contribution, because I even know for myself, I remember like within a couple of months after that episode aired that had those things, I remember my brother Craig went out and he got the what was the album that they had at the time, which was a Flood, which contained the songs Istanbul, Not Constantinople, and Particle Man, and another one, another song, which it wasn't on Tiny Toons, but it became a pretty popular, Birdhouse in Your Soul. So, I mean, and that was really, I think, that the group owes a lot of its fame and success to Steven Spielberg and his bringing songs into the show and things like that, and look at the success that they've had since as a result of that. Because I mean, look, nowadays Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, the fact that they wrote the theme song, and the closing theme for that's pretty awesome that they have that
ability to do that now.
culture impact. So
what about the episode The Acme Bowl?
Okay,
Football.
Well, that was the whole thing with Plucky threatening to defect to the rival of
Perfecto, Perfecto.
Prep. The evil school that cheats to win at everything and stuff like that. That would be sort of like the version of Bayside versus Valley from Saved by the Bell, if you want to think of it from that perspective.
Just like how Tom Brady cheats to win at football.
Now you hush about that. Yes, I know at the time we're taping this, the Super Bowl is coming up very soon. Okay, but you remember what I've said about that with regards to that, okay? And I still hold to that truth, okay? Again, if it was another team winning all the Super Bowls and stuff like that, everybody would be looking for faults with them, okay? The only reason and don't think that the Patriots are the only team that cheats and does that stuff. Multiple other quarterbacks and other players on teams, when these scandals have come out, have said, hey, we do it too. But why do the Patriots get picked on? They're at the top of the food chain. If it was another team, we'd be picking on them.
Tom Brady got
bounty gate with the Saints. That happened after the Saints won the Super Bowl. So again, don't think it's just one team. But let's leave it at that. That's another discussion for another time.
Yes, so, Tom Brady got caught doing it. So that's that.
But many others admitted to it. That was the point.
Yeah.
Tom Brady
because he's the champ. That's it. Let's leave it at that. Let's not turn this into a huge to do here. But
and we all know
if you want to put Tom Brady as that rat quarterback of the Perfecto Prep team, that's your business, Scott.
So trying to think of another episode.
That's so good though. But yeah,
Tom Brady would be suspended from playing.
All right, Scott. We're gonna spend
Scott, calm down, bro.
All right, Scott. We're gonna have to cut a bunch of this, okay? Because we're gonna be because then we're gonna spend an hour talking about this, and we're gonna be so off topic. It's ridiculous, So let's chill with that. All right, time and place. This ain't it. Okay.
Exactly.
Right. We'll talk after the Eagles win tomorrow.
Moving on. So, but who knows with that? So, but I think in general though, it was definitely a good start for for Steven Spielberg within the animation world. And how long did Tiny Toons actually last for? What was it like?
1990 to 1992.
Okay, so it was only really in a sense. 2 years. It felt like it was longer.
Well, because of reruns from 1992 was his final series.
Yeah, but make no mistake, it was a huge success, and definitely
popular.
paved the way for a lot more Warner Brothers success. That's for sure.
There was one band episode that everybody was talking about. One beer.
One beer.
Yeah, that was a band episode.
Now, what was the basis of that one?
Hampton was drinking.
Hampton?
Yeah, I think so.
Wow. Okay, that's a little weird there. I'm actually gonna look that up here. I'm
you to it, Brian. Just continue on.
But it's interesting. It just in general that such a thing like that would go into place. Yeah, it happened in season 2. The premise, okay, yeah, Buster, Plucky, and Hampton become intoxicated after finding an unopened bottle of beer. They steal a cop car, take the car to a tall mountain, and, quote, kill themselves by driving the car off the mountain.
I'm sorry.
Due to complaints about inappropriate content in this segment, Fox, the WB, Nickelodeon, Nicktoons, and Cartoon Network banned the episode from rerunning, except for Cartoon Network's Latin American channel. But the episode is available on the season 2 DVD, and it aired on Canada's Teletoon channel and on the Hub on in September of 2013, which was the first
Wow.
time in over 20 years in America the episode aired.
Right. No, I'm looking at it right now too. The original air date was September 18th, 1991.
Going on
Right.
series 2 right there.
But that's
Yes,
pretty
season
crazy
two.
though in its own right that they and I'm curious in general. Well, the whole idea of it was part of a whole episode that was dealing with that was discussing serious social issues. I mean, give it to its credit. They tried. I mean, obviously, it's clear in the episode they tried to do something a little bit different in the perspective that they wanted to sort of do like a PSA kind of thing or whatever. But
Yeah,
it does make you wonder: could that perhaps have been a step too far?
Well,
I think they meant right with it. I guess I got people. Well, you got to remember, people take offense to everything.
Yeah, but like in the early 90s, that sort of like easily offended standpoint wasn't as prominent as it kind of is nowadays. Because yeah, obviously now you can't say or do anything that's going to make one person ticked off. But it's like we had to, and I don't mean for this to sound insulting or whatever the case is, but didn't it felt like when we were kids, like people had like more common sense and had an honest backbone about this kind of thing, that it's
Yeah.
like people got things more, you know what I'm saying?
Right. But you got to remember when Spielberg did these shows, he also put in their humor for the parents as well too.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. That was something that yeah, and knowing anything, these cartoons are probably the ones that really started that trend that would carry into a lot of the shows and movies that we see nowadays. So given
like
to its credit.
Family Guy and Simpsons.
Well, understand. Wait, those really, I feel like those are well, those shows are more geared to adults in the first place and stuff like that,
Yeah.
because but we're talking shows and movies that are specifically addressed to the kids, but they throw those jokes in that only the adults are going to get and stuff like that. So that's the difference.
Oh.
Yeah. But Tiny Toons may have paved the way for that, but now let's segue into the next thing. Probably none of the shows on the list that we're discussing tonight did that thing of getting the adult references in better than Animaniacs did. So, which is
Hello,
probably the reason why
nurse.
Animaniacs is coming back in the first place.
In
So,
other words, let me do this. Hello, nurse.
Nurse.
well, think of it this way. Animaniacs, in my opinion, just in general, knowing that, again, the central setting, even though they were rarely ever there in the first place, the central setting of Animaniacs, as the song suggests, is in the Warner Brothers studio movie lot and things like that. So you're talking about that you're a place that's rip, rich with the nostalgia of the old classic movies of the days and things like that, so you could draw a lot of reference from those type of things in the first place and
Yeah,
stuff.
right.
But
I wonder if Wacko sold his Don Knotts tapes.
I don't think so.
was that supposed to be your Yakko, Chuck?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
strange enough.
remember, Wacko had a thing for Don Knotts, not like Mel Gibson.
trying to remember the Mel Gibson thing or whatever. All I remember about Dot was her whole thing of that obsessing with her cuteness and beauty and suggesting that like she could use that to get anything that she wanted or
Into a song.
all the attention and stuff like that.
And I'm cute.
Oh God.
Reboot coming in 20. Reboot is coming on 2020.
Oh, so we're a little ways off from that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
so-
but it's still good to talk about it now.
Oh, of course, absolutely. Because again,
We're not, and not to plug Hulu or anything on this, but Hulu has all the seasons to Tiny Toons and to
Animaniacs. And
They have
Pinky,
Pinky and the Brain
Elmira,
also,
and the
or-
Brain.
No, we don't. We just talk about Pinky and the Brain. We don't include Amira.
That's how bad it was.
That's how bad it was. It's like Dragon Ball GT. It exists, but it doesn't exist.
Exactly.
or I'll throw in the reference to the Ferdinand movie that came out over the Christmas break or whatever. We do not speak of Trace.
Or other words, you can't see me.
Oh, hush you.
Just-
You chill with the wrestling references. You go a little overboard with that sometimes, Chuck.
Right.
But it was fair though. Anyway, but all right, back to AMAX for a
They
second.
can't see us. They can't see me.
Point for you guys. Okay. So anyway, but all right, but coming back to AMAX now for a second. Now this was also AMAX also had something that separated them a little bit from the other shows or whatever, because if you think about it,
And also, I want to include this because this was also in the DVDs that I had. They also had access to the Warner Brothers 72-piece orchestra as well, too.
oh really?
Yeah.
oh, cool.
That's different. Well, hey, that's definitely good that you can access all again, have that kind of a musical influence with the show and stuff like that. So no, that's absolutely very good. But here's the point that I wanted to make with regards to AMAX. If you compare it to all of the other shows in the Steven Spielberg block, you have to think that with the kind of different bits that they put together and stuff like that, it had more of, I guess you could sort of put
It had
in the vibe
it
of
was
like, you know what,
like
wait,
a
let me say this.
variety show.
Wait, let me just say this. Sort of like, you know how like with Saturday Night Live, you know how they'll have their different sketches and segments, and they'll have their recurring characters or bits or things like that. Like even those that go beyond the actual characters of the shows themselves. Like you know how the big thing was like in the late 90s and early 2000s, those cartoons by Robert Smigel that like with the Ambiguously Gay Duo and some of the other ones that they did, kind of stuff like that. Animax sort of had that kind of feel to it when they did their segments with like the kid who would talk about his friend Randy Beeman. You had the good idea, bad idea.
That was supposed to be a parody from Leave It to Beaver.
That was but the Good Feathers, of course, everybody loved the Good Feathers.
Right. Then you had Pinky and the Brain. You had Rita and Runt, and I'm not sure how many people know this now because of being so old. Rita was actually voiced by Bernadette Peters.
Wow.
Yeah, it was very awesome in their own right, and it makes sense being that she was that she was a singer or wanted to be famous in that perspective and stuff like that. But you notice how the idea of the whole thing was set up in such a way that it's like everybody existed, all the characters existed in their own universes and stuff like that. They didn't, with the exception of that one episode where they shuffled everybody around with each other and things like that, with the exception of that episode, everybody was in their own place. Nobody interacted with each other. And
actually, no, to correct that, there were a few episodes that they did where they did have multiple characters interact, but they always kept everyone together. Like you would get the Warner Brothers and Dot running through maybe a Pinky in the Brain cartoon,
Or
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 or you
or
had
Good Feathers one.
Right,
Skippy
right, right.
into another cartoon and everything. But they would always keep everyone together and everything.
Yeah, but I mean it's like it. But I mean it's like it was different though from if you're looking at compared to like Tiny Toon Adventures where it's like all the characters are in the same place at the same time interacting with each other in whatever combination. In what you're describing, yeah, you occasionally would see some of the other Anime X characters like quickly in like a quick 5 second little bit, just kind of like run through the forefront or the backgrounds of somebody else's sketch just to see if you're paying attention. But they didn't like physically interact with each other. It's not like all of them were friends, and it's like Rita was saying, "Oh, hey Yakko, how you doing?" and stuff like that. That sort of thing. It wasn't like that.
Well, wait. Especially with the Good Feathers. Like, are you saying that we're supposed to be friends? That's it.
Chuck,
Well, you can call whatever you want, but that was
only in the episode where they jumbled around the characters did they interact with everyone else.
right. The Anime X Stew episode, which knowing anything, that might have served as the later inspiration for having Elmira join Pinky and the Brain, which we'll get to in a second. But
We do not speak of that.
you know where I'm going with that. Well, we have
Yeah.
yeah, let's get to everything in its proper order. But let me ask you this: going through all of the different characters and segments within Animax, with the exception of Pinky and the Brain, knowing that they spun off later. Out of everything and everybody else that they did in the course of Animax, what Chuck was your favorite segment that you would see on the show?
The Good Feathers, who would stick together.
What made that so good for you? Were you like a fan of the what
Oh, I
was it?
sure was. So, Pesto was my
And that was
Pesto
it
was my
that he was able to actually imitate Joe Pesci's voice too.
Yeah, pretty impressive. It's all right. Well, think of it. Joe Pesci was like the it guy in terms of the mob sort of movies of the time and things like that.
Until he met Kevin McAllister and got until he went to Kevin's house of torture.
and they got whacked.
Yeah, but that came before Anime X ever came out because
Yeah.
Anime X was like what 93, 94,
Yeah.
right?
93 to 96.
We're speaking of Joe Pesci, so yeah. Until
Polo movies came before that.
Right, until Joe Pesci went through Kevin McAllister's house of torture.
Yeah, but you have to remember, Good Feathers, in a sense, like said, the name alone, a parody of the film Goodfellas, which came out in
And we're
1990.
gonna get
That
a
was
suit
the
jacket
basis
tomorrow.
for
Mm-hmm.
that voice.
Cuddle.
Yeah. Well, the
The
one
whole,
I like them.
Clown, I amuse you. That's sort of
Are you
whatever.
clown? Think I'm here to amuse you, make jokes and amuse you? That's not what I'm saying. I am a clown.
And then consider so Perch started Scorsese.
Yeah. Are you saying like bada bing?
Yeah, that was very like rich and heavy with. See, we're talking about people getting offended by some things or whatever. I'm surprised that with all the mob movies and stuff like that, like Italian Americans don't get ticked off and stuff like that. It's like, is that all you think we are? We're just I don't know, beats me.
Or on Webadam, of course, Ray Liotta, the one who played Squid.
Right. Yeah. Well, you could tell how all the characters had some kind of classic movie influence and stuff like that, even within the more modern more modern mobs movies and stuff like that. But let's see, Scott, what were your favorite Animaniacs segments?
Pinky and the Brain.
Well, again, other than Pinky and the Brain, because again, we
Besides
know
Pinky
that
and the Brain.
because there's a reason they got spun off. But I mean, out of everybody else,
Well, the ones that included Slappy Squirrel and every those, and the ones, and then the occasional songs that they did with that Yakko, Wacko, and Dot would do.
All the words in the English language.
All the word the
I don't remember that one.
Yakko's Universe, which actually got updated. He actually updated the lyrics to the
Countries
Yakko's
of the World.
Yep. He updated that song. He added more countries to it.
Oh,
Yes,
cool.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, most recently, yeah.
Slappy and Skippy are at Woods. They're the one where Slappy and Skippy are at Woodstock and they do the Who's on First parody.
Yes,
Yeah.
who? The name of the band's on stage. Who? The band's on stage. Yeah.
Oh, what about Mindy and Buttons?
No, the band is on later.
What about Mindy and Buttons?
And then my favorite one that I played in something is the one where they were talking about the earthquake that happened in 1994.
Yeah.
In 94.
The 1994.
Wait, what earthquake was in 94? I don't remember.
The song is called Quake.
Whoa, okay, wait. I can't. Too many quakes in just saying in that. Wait.
Well, what about Reed?
I gotta look that one up. Wait, hang on one second. Wait, let me find this thing here.
Another one of my.
It's from
a quake. Okay, wait. Okay.
Like no, I got it right here. I got it. I'm looking at the fandom website. It starts out with Yakko imitating Joe Friday from Dragnet, where he says, "This is the city, Los Angeles, California. On a starlit winter night, when the moon was shining bright back in January of '94 at 4:30 in the morning, and without a single warning," and then it just goes into the song.
Okay. Okay.
What about Mindy and Buttons?
LA earthquake. I didn't even know they tapped into that. That's pretty surprising that they threw that into the.
He did one about time. He did one about like the different time zones in the world.
Capitals of the United States, which was a parody of Jeopardy.
Oh, I'm sorry. You didn't answer in the form of a question.
Crazy enough.
They also parodied Jeopardy on that one too.
Right.
Yeah, they parodied that one twice with the presidents.
No, they didn't parody the one with the presidents. They only stopped after Bill, and they only went up to Hillary to the Clintons.
Well,
and then
that's who was president at the time.
Yeah, you're right.
And then you had the two that were done with the flame, where the one where you saw Jefferson writing the Declaration of Independence, and then the other one was the Midnight Ride of Paul Revere.
They did that one too?
Yeah, they did that one too.
Huh.
What my other second favorite segment was Mindy and Buttons. Okay, I love you. Bye-bye.
and that was voiced by Bart Simpson.
Nancy Cartwright.
Yeah, okay. Hearing that, I can hear the voice now. That makes sense. You get so used to hearing a certain voice a certain way for so long that you have to put it back into perspective.
And now, Buttons always gets scolded. Bad boy, Buttons.
Here, hang on one sec. Check. Wait. Double check me on this.
I want to mention one other thing. Wait,
I got a question for you. Hold on a minute. Wait, I got a question for you. Wait. You were talking about voices a sec. Wait, hear me out. Because
I wanted to say this since we were talking about the songs. I wanted to mention one thing. In the song that they actually played twice, Yakko's Universe. If you listen to the melody of that, it's the same melody as the song from Monty Python and the Meaning of Life. They borrowed the same melody from that.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, but the song with Yakko doing the countries of the world, that's what I asked about. Now wait, just to put full circle on it, because wait, I'm trying to remember who is it that did Yakko's voice. I'm just trying to remember, Scott. Who was it? Who was it?
Rob Paulson.
Oh, it was Ron Paulson. Okay, no, I didn't want to say that and be mistaken. No, so thank you for the backup on that. But no, you are correct that yeah, last year as he started touring the convention circuits with Comic Con and other things like that. You are correct. Yeah, he did actually go so far as to not only redo the song, but in what sounded like practically a single breath, even went so far as to to update the lyrics and stuff like that, and get all the new countries that came about between 1994 and now. But like I said, dude has just like when do you breathe? When do you inhale, man? It was just insane to listen to.
He's good. He's always been one of my favorite voices.
He's damn good. And and you got to consider, for me at the time, even though I didn't come across,
and then of course the funny ones that they did. It's time to learn today's lesson: the wheel of morality.
Yes, how can we forget the wheel of morality?
Wheel of morality, turn, turn, turn. Tell us the lesson that we shall learn.
Exactly.
And in one episode, they actually won the free trip to Tahiti.
Oh yeah, they threw that in just for the gag and stuff like that. So,
I brought up all the different things that they said.
The moral for this story is.
Yeah, if you don't mind if I read through some of them.
We might as well. The morals probably still hold just as true for us here.
At first you don't succeed, blame it on your parents.
Wow, mind-blowing.
Do not back up. Severe tire damage.
If you can't say something nice, you're probably at the ice capades.
Wow, mind-blowing.
Here's one. The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind, except in New Jersey. Blowing in the wind. Smells fun.
But let's see. And then of course we have to also understand that out of any of the shows on this list, Anime X was probably also the one to push the envelope a little bit with regards to let's just say sexuality in a sense or whatever. Obviously, they found the most subtle ways to do it. Probably no better example of that than the infamous episode where Yakko, Wakko, and Dot are supposed to be detectives, trying to solve a crime, and Yakko tells Dot to dust for fingerprints.
And wait a minute.
I found prints. No, fingerprints.
There was some.
And two things about that: they were parodying the Agatha Christie novel "Death on the Nile" with that.
And of course they always let out the occasional "Hello, nurse."
Right, because Yakko was imitating Hercule Poirot on that one.
Oh man, I love Hercule Poirot.
And then of course, you had in the beginning someone doing a cameo. You had a couple different things in that one. You had a cameo of Columbo in there. You also had the famous a stateroom scene from A Night at the Opera.
Good one.
Right.
Do you need me to explain that one, or do you know what that one is?
I can look it up tomorrow.
You, Chuck. I'm talking to Brian.
Sorry,
not off the top of my head, but like I said, no, I could.
That was the Marx Brothers one where they just kept piling everyone into their stateroom, and then someone walks by, opens the door, and they all tumble out.
I see.
Yeah, what season was that? What season was that, Scott?
Season 1.
Oh, the early episodes.
Yeah, it was an early episode.
I get you there.
Yeah, they also parodied the HMS Pinafore.
Yeah, well, again, this goes into what we were saying in the first place about the idea that in general you had the they had the ability to tap into all of these classic movies and stuff like that. That was the good thing about this being a Warner Brothers production in general, and having Spielberg there.
Right.
You're
Some
right.
of the things that they parodied over was L.A. Law. They did a parody of
What's that other game show that they parodied one with Isaac Newton?
I think that was just their own game show thing that they did. It was Quiz Me Quick.
Quiz
And
me
then
quick.
if you look at the credits to the one when they did the 65th anniversary special, if you look at the credits, you actually make fun in the credits of it. It's like City Desk Editor, Lou Grant.
Podcast still going on.
So, yeah, if you look at the credits at the end of the 65th anniversary special, they make fun of different things in the credits, like the Bee Gees. They actually list who the Bee Gees were.
Oh, yeah.
The City Desk Editor, they put down Lou Grant.
Gotcha.
Yep.
All right, so
I brought up the thing here. Let me see.
well, let's try, let's try to keep this moving here. Right?
Here's some of the gag credits that they put in there. City Desk Editor Lou Grant. Louisville Slugger baseball bat. The Bee Gees, they put down Barry Robin and Maurice Gibb. Let's see. Trail Mix by Nabisco.
All right, here, Scott. We're straying from the point here.
I know.
Yeah, okay, because I got to edit this out now.
I'm just listing some of the.
Scott, we can't do this all night.
I know.
We got to come on. I got to cut this out now. Okay, we're running out of time here. All right, we got to try to get this moving. All right, I understand I can edit this thing out here. All right, but understand we're straying from the point here, and sometimes with you it takes an hour to get back to where we were supposed to be in the first place. Okay,
and also in one episode, since we're speaking of parodies and everything, they also made a parody of the Power Rangers.
All right, Scott. All right, but here, Scott, we could list every parody that they ever did. We'll be here all night.
Not really.
We're never
gonna get to the other shows.
Hey, Brian. Bring 3 extra plates. We're coming over for dinner.
All right, okay. Here, wait. This that we're saying at this immediate second. Okay, I'm cutting this out. I got to trim this down. We transfer it over and things. Okay, but like I said, we've got the basic idea. Again, we understand. So the bottom. Okay, I'm gonna try to find a spot to try to tie the whole thing and just to get the editing in and stuff like that in its proper place. All right, so just here, give me 1 second. Let me just get my thought in place here. Let me give myself a personal 3, 2, 1 here, and put it back in. So yeah, because again, if you just keep going, you gotta understand, Scott. You're gonna look up every single parody and movie reference and things here. We're never gonna get to the other shows. You know what I mean? And that's not good. We gotta, as we go forward this year, Scott, please make a note, okay? We have got to try in whatever capacity possible. We cannot stop to cite every single example of what show did or didn't do and stuff like that or whatever. Okay, because again, we're trying to give a general premise here, and if we stop for every little thing, we're never going to get to everything we want to talk about. And again, we're also going to bore the living heck out of everybody.
Or we can do a part.
We cannot let ourselves get so anal as to do that. Okay, make a note of that for the future. All right. Cool.
And the next show we're talking about is.
Wait. Chuck, wait, not yet.
Sorry.
But is that all right? Is that all right, Scott? You understand?
Yeah.
Got you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Go on.
Oh, okay. No, you didn't say anything. So no. I just want to make sure we're clear on that. All right. So just it's good, but you gotta be careful about that. All right. We can't drag on like that on a topic going forward in the future. All right.
All right.
All right. Okay. No. But it's good that you want to say what you want to say. But we got to find a cutoff sooner or later. It's like I said, because otherwise we'll be here forever.
Yeah.
So, all right. So all right. Let me bring myself. Let me get it back in there. So, but all in all, though, that just says a testament, though, to the fact that you've got Steven Spielberg and you've got Warner Brothers, there in the first place. I think without them, all these parodies and everything that you guys are referencing with relation to movies or TV, you wouldn't be able to pull that off if any other studio was doing this show. I don't even think Disney would try to pull this sort of thing. That seem fair enough to you guys?
Yep.
Sounds fair enough to me.
So that just says a lot of credit that the right studio was putting this type of thing together, because otherwise this would be a vastly different show. Just from that perspective, then, and we'll close Anime X on this before we move on. Knowing that we've got the revival coming up in 2 years or whatever, do you think that they will be able to pull off a similar parody vibe in this new series that would be on parallel with the old one?
Hopefully they put more of Minerva Mink into it. She only had 2 shorts in the whole series.
Wait, put what into it?
There was one character that they only gave 2 shorts to, and I hope that they give that character more episodes.
We need more Chicken Boo. We need more Chicken Boo.
They'll be playing ways they can find playing things they can parody with Chicken Boo and stuff like that. That's for sure.
Disguise look like human eyes, not a man. You're a Chicken Boo.
Weird name for him, but that's its own right. But
yeah,
well, we'll see. Like I said, they've got 2 years to get it right. So let's we'll give their chance.
We got Spielberg back at the helm, so we'll probably have that 72-piece orchestra again.
Once again.
Who knows? We'll see.
Let's hope it'll be good.
Yep. Well, we'll find out. Maybe we'll reconverge in 2 years to give our opinion. Let's hope we're here that long. So
yeah.
Anyway, moving on now. So we've mentioned along the way in the context of Anime X, we've saved it for the side because of the popularity that it had on the show. Pinky and the Brain ultimately later on spawned their own series that was strictly longer versions of their Animaniac adventures in the quest of, as the Brain would forever.
Let's just do this. Okay.
Age of the Labs take over the world.
Gene Brain, what are we gonna do tonight?
Same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world. Now, let me ask this. Because we're talking about with Animax and all the parodies, however, were they really supposed to be a parody of anything specifically themselves?
Brain was supposed to be a parody of Orson Welles.
In what respect?
The way he talked. If you listen to the way that Maurice LaMarche talked as Brain, he did that as Orson Welles. The funny thing is, in one of the Animaniacs episodes, yes, always, it was the frozen peas commercial that Orson Welles did, and they just turned that into an Animaniac Pinky and the Brain episode.
Wow.
But I mean, but like my question though specifically was, but were they supposed to be just as a team? Were they were they supposed to, like we talked about how like the Good Feathers were supposed to be a play on Goodfellas and stuff like that or whatever. But were Pinky and the Brain in and of themselves supposed to be a parody of anything? I don't think they were.
Well, sword, knife.
That of course. So, but I'm right about that, Scott. They in and of themselves were not a parody of anything.
No.
No.
Okay, all right. So that I just want to make sure we had that clear. Um, but it was definitely interesting the idea of with that. I mean, like, well, let me ask you this, Chuck. What do you think it was that made Pinky and the Brain so so appealing as far and away from anybody else from the Anime X crop?
The inventions they tried to pull off, the schemes they tried to pull off to take over the world.
But especially when they did the episode where the brain went on the parody of Jeopardy.
Jeopardy, and he lost big.
Yeah, which
because they parodied the episode of the Honeymooners.
yes, okay, good. I'm glad you remembered that, Scott. Yes. And hey, there's another thing we're talking about with regards to reference and parody to classic TV, because I'll bet you anything, and I didn't even necessarily know it at the time, that obviously no kids of that the 90s generation probably even knew what the Honeymooners was in the first place, but any adult watching that episode, needless to say, would remember the old Jackie Gleason, comedy from back in the days, and remember the episode of the $99,000 answer. So
yeah, I saw that episode. I saw that one reruns.
Which everything in the setup of that episode with the brain going on Jeopardy was a parody hearkening to that. The idea of that he's trying to just know everything in the world trivia wise, but the entire time Pinky is trying to insert his thing of what famous TV character said bang zoom right in the kisser, and Bray would get upset. They'd keep throwing that question in. That was the play, and you know what? It was funny that they would reference the Honeymooners in that for that to pay homage to.
And then Swanee River parody of that Art Carney did.
Do the Swanee River thing. Exactly. So that was the in so doing the parody, they paid the homage to along the way. So they were very correct in saying, we're not we're not making any gonna hide a reference to this is where we got it from. So make of that what you will and stuff like that.
My cat knocked over.
Suddenly you're on Worm's Eye View there. Okay, there you go.
Another episode of episode I liked was when they did try to do the chocolates.
What was the chocolate one? I forget that.
The one with the bubble gum, with the newspaper with the bubble gum.
See, I don't remember. I mean, a lot of the schemes within they sort of kind of just like seem to repeat on themselves, because obviously the schemes were very formulaic and stuff like that. And the idea that they'd have the plan, they would make their progressions as to getting it to work. Go ahead, Scott.
I'm not sure if it's time. I think we went over.
What?
It's 1 o'clock.
No, we're still going.
How much? I'm not sure how much time we have
No,
left.
wait, don't worry. I'm keeping track of the clock. Don't worry.
How much time do we have left?
Well, I'll tell you in a minute. Okay. Well, now I got to edit this minute out or whatever. Just don't worry. I know we're about where we should finish. Don't worry. Just keep going. I'll give you a warning clock or whatever as we go forward. Okay. So just keep an eye on the side. All right. But
Scott, Brian, what was the episode where he was like repugnant? A
see,
pinky in the
okay.
brain.
So wait. Here's the thing though. Because like I don't remember, with the exception of that one episode with the whole game show thing. There, it needs to be said that, like I said, a lot of, in spite of its popularity, one thing that was odd about Pinky the Brain is like it got very formulaic, obviously, because when you consider the whole idea of the world scheme, because every episode would follow the basic formula. Brain hatches plan, well, asks Pinky about its viability with the famous "Are you pondering what I'm pondering?" which was pretty
Are
much
you
part of the Brain
pondering what
Gang
I'm?
show.
Are you
Plan would
pondering what
start
I'm
to
pondering?
execute. Plan would start to execute and would almost appear to work, and then something would happen that either Pinky would screw it up, or sometimes Brain would screw it up himself, and the whole thing falls apart, and we're right back to square one in the
And
lab.
like, then we shall prepare for tomorrow. Then we shall prepare for tomorrow night.
Exactly. What are we going to do tomorrow night? And repeat the formula and stuff.
We're like, we're
So,
try the same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world. The dinky, the pinky, and the brain.
so yeah. But I mean, but does it seem odd to you that that kind of show, for as popular as it was, the idea that it just, like I said, it just seemed to like repeat its own cycle, or whatever the case is.
Right. Yeah. Reading about this on the Animaniacs wiki. No, Brain is heavily based on Orson Welles, both in look and vocal performance.
Okay, all right, but again, Scott, you're missing the point of what I was asking you before about that. Again, I understand what inspired his sounds. I got that. But it wasn't like a parody of a movie or a TV show or whatever the case is. You know what I'm saying?
No, in this case, it was a parody of a person.
Well, again, that's not even a parody, really, in a sense. It was because there are plenty of characters that exist that are inspired by classic movie or TV characters, things like that. But they're not just straight up parody. You know what I mean? So I mean, yeah, Brain is an Orson Welles type character.
Well, who is Pinky? Who is Pinky?
But it's not supposed to be a rip on any specific movie or series. It still stands in and of its own thing.
Well, what about Pinky?
I would say for Pinky, he's more like not Ralph, but the other guy that would always screw up.
Art Carney.
Ed Norton.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, like, but they didn't necessarily on the Honeymooners. They didn't really like scheme or anything.
The way Pinky is, Pinky's more like Art Carney, being that
actor.
The one that foils all the plans.
One of these, Ralph. One of these days. Pow, Rain the Kisser.
Yeah, but I don't know. But that seems. But I don't know. That seems to. I don't know. That seems to kind of like demean the the Ed Norton character in the first place, because again, the Honeymooners wasn't about scheming or any sort of thing like that. There wasn't like.
You got to remember, in the Honeymooners, every now and then, Ralph Cramden would always come up with that plan to make them millionaires and everything.
Right. Yeah, but I mean, like, but that wasn't the
the Pinky was probably based off of Art Carney.
See, I don't know that. I still don't know that I totally see that reference. You know what I'm saying? I don't really put it on that level. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Ooh.
I guess yeah. I understand where you're coming from on that, Scott. But yeah, I don't personally see that. I understand its place in the moments, but again, just knowing that that wasn't what the honeymooners was supposed to be about. That's yeah. I don't know. You can totally make that reference, but like I said, that's just me. So who's to say?
Um.
And so see, I don't know. You made me lose my place there. Um, so anyway, but it does the okay, but before we close the book on Pinky and the Brain though and stuff like that, we because we made reference to it before, the are you pondering what I'm pondering, which was always the probably the bigger running gag of every episode and stuff like that. Let me see, Chuck, do you have can you think of like your one favorite Pinky response to that question?
I like them all, honestly.
Well, I mean, of course they were all good, but like, what's like when you hear that that question or anything there similar? What's the one? What's like usually the first one that springs to mind of
I
Pinky's
think so,
responses?
Brain. I think so, Brain. But I'm trying to think of one, but just one can't come to my head right now.
Yeah, the moment we need it.
Sorry, my brain's all frazzled right now.
I can
I
understand. No,
think
we're recording this late in the day. I understand. Anyway, Scott, you have one?
yeah, this is. I think so, Braden. But how are we going to get the Earth to lose weight? This is. I'm reading it off of the
I don't
wiki.
remember that one. I'm trying to think. My friend Tim, who you met recently, Scott, that that he always refers back to. I think so, Brain, but this time you wear the tutu. Sometimes I
Oh,
would love to know exactly what is going on in Pinky's head, what he thinks they're actually talking about, stuff or
true,
whatever.
true.
Um, let me see some of the other favorites. But if Jimmy cracks corn and no one cares, why does he keep doing it?
Yeah,
The, and I mean, oh yeah, I mean, we could go on for miles to try to come up with
yeah,
all the
yeah.
Pinky
But
and stuff
but
like that.
let me pull up a list and put it in the description when we upload this episode.
Oh yeah, we'll link to all those Pinky. There's isn't there a video somewhere there on YouTube that has like all of these in one stream?
I
not
think so.
Who knows? It's got to be out there somewhere, and I'm sure if there is, it'll be down there. We'll get it in its position. Who knows there?
Okay.
All right, so now we get to the late '90s, and then the last two shows that are on the list here. Now these I'd have to say, like out of all of the ones, they they have their fans, but I would probably have to say in general that these other two shows in the Steven Spielberg library of cartoons probably not didn't have like the same kind of grip and
Yeah.
on the
The cult
culture
following him.
as
The
the three that we've done so far. We're talking about the mid '90s with Freakazoid and the late '90s with Toon Sylvania, which in preparing for this episode, I'll be honest, I didn't even know there was such a show as
There was some hysteria as well.
huh?
There was hysteria as well when it's a parody on history.
See now here's the thing. As in trying to look this up, I didn't see hysteria come up within the list of Steven Spielberg shows. All right, no,
I think
it is there. No hysteria as well. So even in that respect, okay, and that came later. That or that was about the same time as Toon Sylvania and stuff. But those three, they didn't seem to have as much of the cultural impact, or at least the significant memory in people's minds as as the other three shows had, because
Well,
plenty of people still remember Tiny Toons, Anime X, and Pinky and the Brain, but these three, they don't
No.
get as much whatever. Well, maybe with the minor,
According to Wiki, Steven Spielberg was not on this one. I thought he was, but he wasn't.
yeah, I don't see anything. You're talking about Hysteria, right?
But I thought it was, but it wasn't.
Yeah, it doesn't have him listed anywhere in that regard. Yeah, I don't. Well,
But
it has him listed as
it does have a lot of the cast that was in Animaniacs, like Frank Welker.
who played him? Who played him? That Bob character I quoted the Tonight
Yeah.
Show lines.
Maurice LaMarche, who's done the Brain. Rob Paulson, Paul Rugg. So you had a lot of the cast that did Animaniacs also helped out on Hysteria too.
Who played that Bob character? I forgot. Simple Bob.
I have no idea. But I think we gotta start wrapping it up, guys.
Sorry.
Yeah, wait. I'm going to take the part about Hysteria out there because because like I said, no, I'm not, as I'm reading it here, guys. Yeah, because I want to make sure that we're keeping on topic and stuff like that. I don't see anything here that is referencing that says specifically about Steven Spielberg. You know what I'm saying?
Unfortunately.
As I'm trying to look at it, yeah, no, I'm not seeing anything specific that mentions exactly him. You know what I'm saying?
So yeah, let's cut this one out. Save this for another podcast, the Cartoons of the 90s Part 2.
Well, again, remember, the whole point of this is to stay within the Steven Spielberg family. That was the that was the key to this. You know what I'm saying, Chuck?
Sorry, my bad.
No, you're fine. I just want to make sure that, they just had the scope proper or whatever.
Okay.
So, all right. So here, wait. I'm just gonna slightly read you a bit. Okay, from what I'm clocking on time here, just with I'm taking out the stuff that I'm taking out. All right, let's give ourselves 7 minutes, and we'll try to get our thoughts in place here. And
Brian, it's already 1 o'clock. I have work in the morning.
Or like I said, 7 minutes. Okay, and we'll put the bow on this. Okay.
Okay.
It's going on 125.
Proper
names. Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Like we went way over the time limit.
Because we've had to edit stuff out.
Let's end it now. I got work in the morning. It's already 1:30.
Scott.
I'm ending it in 5 minutes at 1:25, at 1:30, at 1:25. 4 minutes. That is it.
Okay, Scott, we wouldn't be in this position right now. Okay, if you didn't.
Listen, if we started the show late, we started it late. It was already 11:30. It was already 11:45 when we started. Let's end it now. Because I got work. I got to be up at 7 o'clock tomorrow. Well, later on.
All right. Give me a second here to.
Okay.
Because now any discussion of Freakazoid or the other ones will, we'll have to just ignore that completely or whatever.
We'll talk about Freakazoid and the other shows at another.
I have nothing for Freakazoid. I never watched Freakazoid. I have no knowledge of that whatsoever, and none of us have any knowledge of Sylvania whatsoever. These are the three that we know.
Yes. So let's just end it here.
Which is fair. Okay. All right. Give me 1 second to just rewind my head a second, and just again we'll put in perspective, and then we will talk later, Scott. Okay? Because
Yeah,
I
because I
did.
got church in the morning.
no,
Yeah,
I know, I know.
get this.
And listen, guys. No. I thank you for this. Just again, well, let's sell the internal later. Okay. All right. Just give me 1 second to just put my mind back in.
Okay.
Just so I could put a proper sentence on this for editing the bit in. Okay. Just give me. Okay. I think we're good here. All right. Okay, so that pretty much puts bow on Pinky and the Brain, stuff like that. As crazy it was. And now, while we know that in general, as far as the Steven Spielberg animation block goes, that there were more shows that came after. Two primarily that we know of mainly, those being the moderately successful Freakazoid in the mid-90s, and then the not quite as known Toonsylvania, which before we even started this podcast, wasn't even aware of that one even existing as a show. But even though those had minor success, they weren't as well accepted as in terms of the long-term popularity as the three that we've mentioned. So I gotta be honest, I never personally saw Freakazoid myself. Just real fast. Either of you guys see Freakazoid when it was first on?
Bits and pieces of it.
Yeah, see that gets into it
I,
because
I saw it in reruns on Cartoon Network.
right, yeah. I think maybe part of the idea behind those maybe not having the staying power, knowing that they were more Saturday morning shows as opposed to all the other ones we talked about were 5-day a week serials. So we got to see constantly get those pumped in with ourselves every single day and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that probably extended the lifespan of those in terms of our consciousness or whatever the case is, the popularity. Fair argument.
Fair argument.
That seems pretty good, but regardless, they're not forgotten, as not any more so than any of the other things and stuff like that. And believe me, as highly anticipated as Animaniacs are, who knows? We'll probably be ready to get a whole new batch of catchphrases and segments or whatever. Hopefully, they'll be as good as the original Animaniacs. We'll be able to coin new phrases and new bits or whatever.
I don't know. I think there's gonna be a lot of speculation. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, I think we all are and stuff like that. So it should be real good. And we will
As a child of the
close
90s.
this out with one random thought from the original Animaniacs, if you guys don't mind, however, because I think we forgot this one.
Go
We
ahead.
close out with another good idea, bad idea. Good idea, playing catch with your grandfather. Bad idea, playing catch with your grandfather. And with that,
end.
the ends. Yes, so that's gonna do it for convention attention for this go around. We will see you at the ends of the month in February. Hopefully, this will be up by then. It should be, and we'll be back live by the time that point comes along. We'll get the topic forthcoming. You'll see it on the banners on Facebook and on YouTube. In the meantime, please support us, spread the word about us, do all of that lovely, good stuff that we always keep asking, begging, especially now that YouTube is cutting off the funding. Seriously, guys, anybody that likes what we do? If you like what we do and things like that, please come come subscribe to us.
Comment,
bring the crew
subscribe.
in, get them subscribed to also to since Scott has for the last couple of months been very kind enough to use his other YouTube channel at Skune 007 to have these podcasts go off forever. And thank God you have channels.
And don't forget to subscribe to my channel as well, which has mostly STL Ocarina news. and music video promos.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Let's make a point of this, guys. Yeah, because that with the YouTube thing, changing. And no, listen, I don't. It's totally fair what they're doing. I don't want to, suddenly go on a thing against YouTube. But hey, listen, they're a business just as business. Continue to support them in general. But listen, you like pages like this or whatever, spread the word about them. Let's bring the subscribers, let's support each other and bring each other up, so that if we really want to keep doing this and make any minor livelihood out of it whatsoever, hey, let's all do that for for each other. If you really like what we're doing, spread the word and let's all be friends. And with that in mind, we're going to close this out for convention attention. Scott, of course, thank you. Chuck, and thank you. And hopefully we'll get some video issues with them taken care of soon. For now, Brian Spinski for all the gang on Lost Silver Productions. Take care. We'll see you very soon. Take care.
Bring